A warm welcome back to the Forensic Detailing channel, and today we're coming to the end of our Hall of Fame series of waxes, where I've shown you my favourite iconic 10 Hall of Fame waxes from the history of kind of car paste waxes. Now in this video we're going to get them all out and I'm going to attempt to rank them 10th to 1st. Now just before I do, bear in mind that they're all in the Hall of Fame, so they're all winners. They're not in the Hall of Fame because they're the top 10 performance, like durability, or top 10 beading, or the top 10 value for money. They're just in there as sort of like waxes that I had a special interest in, that I feel are iconic. So this ranking is just complete personal kind of, I don't even know. I'll try and give you my thought process as I go along. We get them all out. So here's one. That's the Concours, Zymol Concours Pete's 53. Similar ingredients on paper, these two, like with the carriers. Like they've all got coconut oil, montan oil, banana oil, and another one as well. I can't remember, propolis. The Angelwax Enigma in this box. I'll probably take that out of that box just so it's more ready to use. That's the only true ceramic wax in this test. Here we've got the original Fusso coat, which is going to be the durability and bead king, you know, out of all of these products. An iconic kind of Japanese wax that's been around for a long time, but still really can't be beaten. The Scholl Concepts Premium Vintage Wax, probably the most carnauba dominant wax in this entire lineup. I took the shelves out and cut these acrylic shelves in, so I didn't have these horrible little wine bars in there. That's the thing. The Bilt Hamber double speed wax. This again is another performance wax that, you know, cures and gives you good durability for a very affordable paste wax. The Concours look R222. I always get 2RR or SP21, whatever it's called. I always struggle with the name of that particular wax. In there, no, end up electrocute myself. Oh, this one, the Swissvax Best of Show wax. I love that one. That's a real high-end wax. Show wax that does claim good durability, so I'm interested to try that. The Autglym Ultra High Definition and the Collinite 915, and I think that there we are. We are at 10 paste waxes. I want to just do some honourable mentions, if you don't mind. Just indulge me. I think some honourable mentions are some that you guys have spoken about. The Turtle Wax Ceramic Graphene Wax, a 75-year anniversary wax. I think it was only going to be a limited number, and they ended up, you know, selling them. If they don't have the 75 on the top, they weren't that first initial limited number batch. This wouldn't be in my Hall of Fame. It's not kind of old enough, but some people really liked this, and it was kind of a big moment for Turtle Wax, and it is a cool wax. Has decent durability. The FK 1000p. This is like a synthetic wax that can take heat, so it might make a good like protector for exhausts and like chrome wheels and that sort of stuff, as well as paintwork. It goes on nice. It doesn't bead that much, but it's interesting. It's iconic, and it's been around for a long time. The Pinnacle Sovereign Wax, like a show wax that we featured on the channel, very high end. Some of you might say that this was iconic, and I think it is in America, less so over here. And I'm not too sure about the wax making side of Pinnacle. You know, I didn't feel it's quite as, they're not quite the Pinnacle like Swissvax and Zymol are like the Pinnacle. So I don't know enough about the wax making pedigree of this brand to put it in mind, but it's still an honourable mention, and it, you know, it's all personal. It's a brilliant show wax. The Geon Wax, again, a functional kind of beady wax in a really cool new applicator. A wax that you can put on top of ceramic coatings because it has some self-cleaning, but it's too modern to be in my Hall of Fame. It's only been out for a couple of years. You know, I'm looking for the icons from a certain era of my life. There's lots of others as well, guys. There's lots of like amazing wax makers out there. You know, you've got Dodo Juicer got iconic waxes. Mitchell & King, waxes. Who else make waxes? There's millions. This is millions of waxes. I'm just trying to think of some others that might be iconic ones. Oh, Natty's, Poor Boy's Natty's Paste Wax could be one that's in there. You could have an Auto Finesse wax in there, like the, I can't remember what they're called, was it like Illusion or something like that? There could be so many arguments that other waxes could be in there. So I just thought I'd do some honourable mentions. I'm sure I'm missing some of those waxes on honourable mentions, but never mind. Yeah, so put in there in the comments what you think yours are. So how are we going to rank these from 10th to 1st? Well, this might be quite easy for me, and this is just based on a gut feeling of which ones I really feel I want to put on the car, and the high end does seem to impact that, so we're just going on my gut feeling. So I'm going to start by ranking 10th to 1st, and I would say that the functional waxes are the ones that I would look to use on daily drivers or apply to other people's cars for protection, and not like put on my car. So in 10th place in the Hall of Fame, I'm going to put the Fusso wax. They have better looking waxes in their lineup. I like the Mirror Shine and the Kwame, the Carnauba waxes, for better gloss. In 9th place in my Hall of Fame, I'm going to put the Double Speed wax. Again, it's a performance functional wax that's very, very affordable, but it doesn't have any of the BS. It might be too cheap, which I don't often hear me say. You know, it might be. It's like I'm less interested in the performance, although there's some little exceptions to that, and I'm more interested in the desirability. Really, that might be what's swinging it for me. Very interesting. Next, I will say I will put the Angelwax Enigma there, because it's a technical masterpiece of one of the first companies to actually put loads of genuine core ceramic resin into a coating rather than just some, you know, SI material and call it a ceramic wax. That's a proper technical thing to be able to do that. And that's why it's in my Hall of Fame, but I'm not sure if I want genuine ceramic in a paste wax and all that sort of stuff. So that's just what's going through my head when I do this video. Next up, this is really starting to get interesting now. Next up, I'm going to go with this one, because, so that's going to be what, 6th, 7th place, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, yeah. So 7th, the R222. It's so oily that in spring now, where the pollen's around, if I put that on the car and I have the car outside, it will attract dust. It is literally put it on for an event and drive there, and that day when it's freshly applied, you'll be good. But it's so old school. I think there's just some that just aren't quite as oily that still give you all that show wax thing. Although it's difficult, because that is one of the best looking waxes on the face of the planet. Now we're getting down where it starts getting really, really, really difficult. Really difficult. And I'm going to say that the next wax that I'm going to remove or put in the ranking is the Zymol Concours. I think it's just a little bit dry for a show wax. It's a bit hard if you want to use it by hand, and I don't like using it by hand, but it's hard to get it all out because it works better on an applicator basically. And I just think there's showy type waxes in here which I prefer using for me. Okay, we're down to the 5 now. We're down to the 5. How on earth am I going to rank these? Well, yeah, this is really difficult actually. So the next one, so in 5th place, it'll be the Collinite 915. A performance wax that can go hard, but I feel it has a bit more allure than, say, the Bilt Hamber, which is another performance wax, which is Carnauba based. But I don't know, there's something about the 915. It just feels a bit more old school. Not quite, it doesn't set quite as hard as the Bilt Hamber. Probably won't last as long. So it bridges the gap really to a high Carnauba show wax and a performance wax a little bit better. So that one I've got in 5th. Now we got 4 left to do. Wow, this is really hard. This is going to be so tough because I love these four getting through to my favourite. That's a cracking little oily wax. That's a cracker, and it hardens off a little bit, and it doesn't seem to attract dust like the R22. I've always thought compared these two waxes very in a similar sort of fashion because they're both two of the oiliest waxes you could ever get. I don't want to rule the Pete's out because I really like it. I don't want to rule the Swissvax out because I really like it. I don't want to rule the Autglym out because I really like it. And the premium vintage I really like as well. This premium vintage, I'm looking at it now and thinking maybe it should be this one that comes out. But the claim to fame of the premium vintage is it is the grainiest. It is pure carnauba. The carrier oils are all cacao, and it smells like the Palmer's cacao oil, that moisturiser that I love, that really helps me with my eczema. I love this wax. This is one of the best old school waxes here. This is a brilliant wax. I don't want to rule it out. I don't want to rule it out. It doesn't deserve to be ruled out just yet. Yeah, really interesting actually. I think I'm going to go. My guts are telling me you can't rule that one out because you really like it. Even though out of all of the high-end waxes, just don't tighten that so much, that little rubber thing comes out. I have to sort that out. Out of all the high-end waxes, Scholl Concepts don't have that kind of wax making pedigree, but I love that particular product so much, I can't rule it out. I'm going to have to rule out the Swissvax Best of Show, which I think is, it's good. It's good. The way it spreads is just divine. It's so good. I don't really even want to rule that out. Maybe it should be ahead. I'm struggling here, guys. I'm really struggling. Ooh, it's difficult. It's difficult. I don't want to rule the Autglym out as well. I think the Autglym is in with a shout with one of the best waxes ever made. It does everything. The optical quality of it we know is fantastic. The protective side of it we know is fantastic. They spent more on the bespoke packaging and bespoke applicator and instruction cards and, you know, that little box you get with it than most of these other products do. Some of these other companies, you can go and get the bags that they put these in. You can go and get them on Alibaba, you know, those little bags, little kind of shiny bags to put the wax in, and the certificate is a nice touch, but the effort they've gone to make their packaging is beyond anyone. This is a phenomenal wax. That is too good to rule out. Phenomenal, but is it as iconic? The wax purists won't want to give it to Autglym because they'll feel like the Zymols and the Swissvaxes are more kind of got more craftsmanship in the wax making field, so the purists won't like this Autglym product being here. No disrespect to Autglym, they're a fantastic brand, but they're not known as like a handcrafted wax maker. They're a mass market kind of brand, aren't they? But this wax is brilliant. Jeez, wow. I think we've got to make a tough choice here. I think it's got to be the Scholl. I'm going backwards and forwards. I'm doing more U-turns than Keir Starmer. Don't talk politics. It's got to be the Scholl Concepts, but I hate that. I hate ruling this one out because it's one of my personal favourite waxes that's different to all of these. That is a beautiful wax. I love that. But yeah, we're always going to struggle. Pete's 53, you might argue, should be ruled out really, but it was all crumbly, like, and all the pour had all gone wrong, and it's all like oily and greasy, and there's bits in it. But there's something about this wax that is proper, like it's proper. Hold on a second, I just want to show it to you. It's proper. It's a proper wax. This is like, it's proper. So I sorted that edge out by just poking it all in and running my finger around it. So eventually that will level out a little bit more. It will start breaking up into big old chunks. It will be messy. Smells amazing as well. It's using the same solvent as the treble 2, I think. Anyway, yeah, love that wax. That is a brilliant wax. Even though it's technically it's not good as some of these other Hall of Fame ones. Technically, it's not as good. Performance-wise, it probably won't measure as good. Yeah, I think next we'll have to put that out next. But that's a cracking wax, that is. I love it. Yeah, love that wax. Just proper old school. That's what it's all about. Might be a bit too oily for some people. So we're left with 2 waxes. Which one is going to be the greatest wax of all time? Well, this is difficult, isn't it? It could be the Swissvax. It could be the Autglym. You know what? I'm going to change my mind on all of this. Any of these could be in different orders. I'm going to put the Swissvax in second. That's a real high quality product. Let's just take the lid off and show you this, just so you're seeing what we're getting. Probably not too much to write home about there. Someone was saying about the bubbles. Not too much worried about little bubbles in there. There's something about the chemistry of this Swissvax product that is just different. It's just different. It's just different. Like, it's so crystalline. It's like that wax is like treading in frozen like snow, and you get that crunch underneath you. There's something really cool about however that was made and whoever formulated that. Something really cool that's hard to that you'd think would be easy to replicate, but it isn't. It's hard. It's a proper, whoever blends that really is a genius. It's put their heart and soul into that, doing that. They put their heart and soul into it to get to that stage. Incredible. The Autglym high definition wax. For me, Autglym are proper wax makers that have been making waxes in their place in Letchworth for over 50 years. I don't know quite how long they've been going, but over 50 years. And they had their high definition wax, which always went on nice and was a bit cheaper. It was about 30 quid, wasn't it? But it didn't bead, so you couldn't see it as much. So I think Autglym knew they needed to up their game and make a more modern, beady, protective kind of wax. But I also think they got a better wax optically, knowing Autglym. And I think Autglym are one of few companies that can formulate a wax with proper gloss testing, where they actually can get a wax that's optically superior. You know, you buff it, those end results, fill that panel up, improve the performance of the gloss, rather than just a wax which works, you know, but might not be optically good, because none of you guys really are going to be able to tell the difference optically, are you? You might have an opinion on which wax you like the look of, but every time you look at a wax, and I look at a wax, it's going to be a different light in different circumstances, maybe on a different car, different times of the day, different times of the year. But if you're able to gloss test it, you know, in a lab and build a wax that's optically good, I think that's a real thing. And I know Autglym can do that. And I'm seeing it in my tests as well. And I'm expecting to see it in my performance tests. So it feels well, really improves clarity and depth of the colour of hazing. Beads really well. So it's a technical performance wax, but it's really well presented. I can't get it open with one hand. It comes with like a glass-like pour, a perfect pour when I first bought this. Now it's not, you know, it's got little bits of fluff from the applicator in it or whatever. But it was a glass-like pour. So the presentation was as good as any of them, and Angelwax was really good on the presentation. The price is not a cheap wax. It's about £100 per 200 grams, roughly, because this is like 120 grams or mil. So but it's not quite up at the £200 mark where some of those other high-end waxes are. So it's a very expensive wax for a big brand in Halfords type thing. Although someone just put in the comments they just bought a tub of it on sale for 25 quid. So you do often find that it's just on sale you know, at half price or whatever. You know, they do these deals. If ever it's on sale, just buy a pot if you've never bought it, if you're into your waxes, because it is a phenomenal wax. Technically, it's the only one I think that can tick the show wax category and the performance category and the master crafted kind of, you know, the pour element, the presentation element. The pot is brilliant. You can't get you can drop that and you're never going to get any problems with the pots. Some of these other pots can be a bit fragile and not ideal, and the wax spins around in it and all that sort of stuff. The old Collinite pot used to corrode. Yeah, that's pretty flawless. But it might not be your choice. So there we go. Could be completely different. I could do this on another day and come up with a completely different list. So what I'm going to just quickly do while we're here is I'm just going to quickly show you every wax. This is the hardest one to open. This tin. Tins. Oh, you swan. Why don't you just go and get a screwdriver? Once you start and you make progress, you don't want to stop. I need a screwdriver. Hold on. Hold on. And you're worried you're going to damage your tin. So this, yeah, that is just a carnauba heavy, it's a kind of solvent thing, performance wax that looks really good and is loaded with carnauba. Iconic though, that is, for sure. This one we've covered, the Scholl Premium. We're all out of order here, aren't we? Where's the camera lens? Thickest carnauba wax you'll ever see. One of the best organic paste waxes ever. My personal favourite, possibly. You can see it all breaking down, but it doesn't ooze the oil out. The more you work it, you kind of get that oiliness out. I love that wax. So good. Yeah, smells amazing. Let's just wipe my hands, sorry. Next up, the Pete's 53. One of the oiliest waxes in this particular competition, the wax on, wax off. Not quite as delicate a pour, but a brilliant example of a proper old school oily wax that lasts a bit longer than some of the other oily waxes. This one, the Crunchy Carnauba. Again, an oily wax. Just incredible though, that's a brilliant wax, that is. Certain quality to the jar of these Swiss waxes as well. Wherever they got these jars from. You're in the mercy of acquiring cosmetic jars when you do wax pouring. You know, most of these companies, that's where they get them from. Yeah, this is a great soft. So you start working that wax. It looks like it's going to be a hard wax, but as soon as you start working it, you feel it's got a softness to it. It's really good solvent system in it. The Fusso we know is going to be green. Let's just get that off. So we got a green. It's a decent pour in there, but you know, this is quite an industrial performance wax, this one. So that's going to stink the garage out. But you won't beat the performance of that wax. You'll get close to it with Bilt Hamber though, but Bilt Hamber won't do 12 months, that old Fusso will. This will do like 3 to 6, I think. This may be now one of the leading durability paste waxes on the market. And this one. This is a nicely presented wax as well, isn't it? Said about the pour on the Angelwax. I like that little sealing lid as well on there. So you know you're getting a seal. Really good pours on the Angelwax. Enigma, lovely. Like that little sealing lid. Yeah, I wonder where they've discovered these pots from Angelwax. They're brilliant, good wax pots. But they've nabbed them now, so if you use them, it's going to be obvious. If you use them, they're going to know. I'll keep that in the box. And then the treble 2, the one I always say wrong. Yeah, really interesting, that is. It's got that cheesy smell to it. Parmesan, that's the Carnauba. Yeah, this is hard Oh yeah, no, it's harder than I remember at this pot. There's definitely some variations. Pete's 53, the first pot I had of this was different to that pot. It was more porridgey. This, the first pot I had, was more grainy. It's definitely hardened up, but you can sometimes find when you work your way through the wax, it will soften up later on. Lovely that is. So that is the king of oil. The king of oil. I'll just keep that seal on it. That seal reduces the amount of solvent that's going to vape out of that wax. So that will just help to keep it fresher for longer. And then we have the Zymol, which yeah, is a sort of harder wax. Well, yeah, because I've gone in there and used a bit of that now. That oiliness has come through, but it's quite a tough, hard wax. That is lovely though. That Zymol. No regrets with that. Amazing. Yeah. So that kind of concludes our Hall of Fame series with everything but the final performance testing, which I know a lot of you have been looking forward to, and we'll crack on with that. I might start that tomorrow. So I hope you really enjoyed the series, guys. How would you have ranked them? I'm not sure if I got the rankings right. The only reason I'm saying that is because at the moment I really want to just use this Swissvax one, because I've used the Autglym one and I know it. So this has got the novelty factor and the new sort of wax that I'm owning, you know. So I'm sort of thinking, well, maybe the Swissvax deserved the win, and I really like the Pete's, and these ones could have. This won't be everyone's choice. It's a real personal one. Same with that one. I think some of you, what the popular wax makers thing would be is I think it would be Swissvax, Zymol, and then amongst wax makers, I think a few of the wax makers would still appreciate this high-end wax. I don't know. I think some of the wax makers might see these two as really iconic. Some might really like the Angelwax. Yeah, the performance waxes, perhaps these ones, they might not be as trendy with the wax maker kind of people, but then other people might say, well, you're mad, these are the best ones because they last the longest. So it's all just appearance, but 10 stonking kind of waxes there, guys. And yeah, love this. And these are going to be, I'm going to get a lot of enjoyment over applying these, and I'm going to really try and use them, because if you got them all out of the tins and mixed them into one big ball, you'd have like a football of wax. So how long will it take you to get rid of that football? It'd take you a lifetime, wouldn't it? It's like be wearing away at it slowly. So I've got to get stuck into using these waxes and use them quite aggressively and use loads of product, or else I'll have them forever and I won't be able to try any new ones. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.